Hello, dear friends. Today we're in for something truly special. This will be one of those adventures that sticks with you for a long time. We're going to play the floor is lava mode. And I have to say, today is going to be hot in every sense of the word. Imagine us jumping from platform to platform, trying to avoid the boiling lava that's literally bubbling beneath our feet. I'm already excited because this isn't just a game. It's a real test of agility, speed, and the ability to make quick decisions.
Ha! In this challenge, it's not just agility that'll be tested, but also the strength of your spirit. Because when there's lava boiling beneath you, it's not just about jumping, it's about surviving. And every step needs to be filled with adrenaline, every move carefully calculated. You think this is just a regular game? No, this is a real test. Lava doesn't forgive mistakes, and if you hesitate even for a second, it's over. You lose. So, get ready for a truly fiery show.
Oh, I'm so nervous. Lava is no joke. It's literally beneath our feet, and even the slightest mistake could lead to us ending up in a river of fire. I can imagine us trying to jump from one narrow platform to another, hoping not to slip. Every time the lava gets closer, my heart starts beating faster, and you start wondering, can I really do this? But we don't have a choice, do we? We have to keep going and hope that our skills and your support will help us get through this terrifying challenge.
Honestly, lava is just awful. All that heat, the flames everywhere, and you can literally feel the hair on your head burning from the temperature. I can't even think about it without feeling grossed out, let alone actually participate in such a challenge. But someone's got to do the dirty work, right? We'll be jumping, we'll be dodging, and all of that just to avoid falling into that fiery abyss. Just think about it. Lava doesn't forgive mistakes, and I absolutely hate losing.
But that's exactly what makes the game so exciting, friends. This isn't just a challenge for us. It's a challenge for everyone watching us. You'll see how we overcome difficulties together, how we deal with the heat, the lava, the obstacles that await us at every turn. It's a real adventure that requires not just agility, but also support. And I'm sure that with your help, we'll succeed. You're with us, right?
Of course they're with us. They wouldn't leave us in a moment like this, when everything's on the line. And you know what? When things get really intense, when the lava is literally under our feet, I want to see all your support. Because in those moments, we need every drop of energy, every word of encouragement to get through this fiery ordeal. We'll fight to the end, and I know we're not alone.
Guys, we've been through so much together. These exciting moments where we overcome challenges, celebrate victories, and deal with setbacks. It's all thanks to you. If you like what we're doing and want to see even more adventures, don't forget to hit that like button.
Yes, the like button isn't just a button. It's your way of saying, keep up the great work. Every like you give us is a boost of energy that drives us to push through and tackle even tougher levels. So, come on, don't hold back.
And please subscribe to our channel. I always worry that you might miss something important. With a subscription, you'll be up to date on all our new videos and won't miss any of our adventures. I'll be a little less anxious too.
And of course, don't forget to leave comments. We always read what you write, and it helps us improve. Just keep it respectful, or it might spoil the mood. Want to see something specific? Let us know. Your opinion matters.
So, friends, likes, subscriptions, and comments are what help us grow and improve. Let's make our channel even better together. Story time. This moment starts with a story about how Tim organized a robot building contest in his yard and faced unexpected challenges. Today's story is going to be absolutely thrilling. Tim decided to host a real robot building contest right in his yard. It all started when he gathered his friends and neighbors to show what they could do. It was like a real festival. Imagine, each participant brought their unique ideas and materials to create their dream robot. The air was filled with laughter, conversation, and the spirit of competition. Each person had their own goal, to make their robot the smartest and most agile. It's especially heartwarming to see everyone around enjoying and being inspired, as it was a true celebration of engineering and creativity.
But, as often happens, not everything went smoothly, and that's where the problems began. Some robots started malfunctioning, causing a real commotion. One robot unexpectedly started moving erratically, leading to the complete destruction of other creations. People began arguing about who was at fault, whether it was the malfunction or the design itself. Real discussions and discontent flared up, especially when someone started blaming others for their robot not working properly. This led to a storm of emotions and dissatisfaction among the participants, and sometimes even conflicts arose that needed immediate resolution to prevent ruining the celebration.
Exactly. I was really worried for Tim at that moment. Despite all his efforts, some robots started failing at the worst possible times. Each time something went wrong, Tim's stress and worry increased. He tried to fix the problems on the fly, which was very stressful, especially with all eyes on him. I constantly worried that he might feel overwhelmed and disappointed due to the numerous technical issues. The drive to fix everything and ensure the contest went smoothly was a heavy burden, and I feared that he might just burn out and feel like a failure.
Oh, and let's not forget the nightmare of the mess. All those leftover parts, rusty bits of metal, and general debris piling up in the corner of the yard were dreadful. After all the technical issues, there was a real mess. Broken parts, old wires, and dirt. It all created a truly unpleasant sight. Fixing and dealing with the problems didn't add any joy to the situation. I always feel disgusted by such messes. But even in this case, Tim managed to stay calm and persistent. He tackled the issues and kept working despite all the discomfort and unpleasant moments.
But despite all the challenges, the robot building contest turned out to be a real success. Tim and his friends learned lessons from all the problems and difficulties, and each participant had a blast. In the end, even the most unpleasant moments became part of an exciting adventure. The atmosphere was filled with support and mutual help. It was a day that will be remembered for a long time, and we all came together to make it a true celebration of engineering and friendship. So let's congratulate Tim and all the participants for overcoming the challenges and making this day unforgettable. And the next story will be about a time travel adventure with an antique clock story is about Tim, who found an antique clock in his grandmother's attic. These clocks turned out to be magical and could transport him to different eras. He was thrilled with this discovery and decided to embark on an amazing journey. His first stop was the era of knights.
But it wasn't all smooth sailing. Tim immediately found himself in the middle of a knightly tournament, where he had to face many challenges. He saw knights battling it out in the tournament, and not all of them were friendly. He had to avoid fights and find a way to gather the necessary information to get back home.
I was really worried about Tim when he ended up in a dangerous situation. He accidentally found himself in a castle full of mysterious traps and ancient mechanisms. He had to solve complex puzzles to find a way to the next stage of his journey and return to the clock.
The time-traveling adventure in the era of knights wasn't without its unpleasant aspects. Tim faced unbearable dirt and discomfort, as living conditions back then were far from ideal. It was a real test for him.
Tim successfully overcame the challenges and returned home with a wealth of incredible experiences. He saw how knights lived and learned to appreciate modern life. His journey turned out to be a true adventure, bringing him joy and new knowledge.
Although Tim went through many difficulties, he came out of this experience stronger and more confident. These challenges taught him how to handle any problems that might arise in the future.
After this journey, Tim became more cautious. He realized how important it is to be attentive and respect the past. He learned to cherish every moment and understand the consequences of his actions.
Despite all the hardships and unpleasantness, Tim appreciated the comfort of his own time. This journey taught him to value the cleanliness and convenience of modern living conditions.
We've just finished our amazing adventure with the antique clock and time travel. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. If you liked what we did, please don't forget to hit that like button. It helps us know that you enjoy our stories and want to see more.
Yeah, a like isn't just a button. It's a way to support us and show that we're on the right track. Every like is like fuel for our enthusiasm. We're working hard to create even more exciting stories and adventures, and your support is crucial. So don't hold back. Hit that button.
And don't forget to subscribe to our channel. I always worry that you might miss our new videos if you're not subscribed. Subscribing is your way to ensure you don't miss any important stories. We release new videos regularly, and staying updated is really convenient.
Also, leave your comments below the video. We read each one and truly value your feedback. Your suggestions help us improve our content and make it more interesting for you. But let's keep it polite. Constructive criticism and suggestions really help, while rudeness can spoil the mood.
Don't forget, your opinion is very important to us. We want our content to be just how you like it. So, leave your comments and share your thoughts. Until next time, and have a great day. Hello, are you subscribed to our channel? If not, I'm giving you 5 seconds to subscribe and hit that like button. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Did you make it? If so, let's get started.
Hello, subscribers. Today, Tim is going to take on a super fun but dangerous mode called Skateboard Obby. Guys, I really hope Tim stays safe and doesn't end up in the hospital.
I won't let Tim end up in the hospital. This is really scary, but to be honest, there's no reason to get angry just yet.
Ew, what are those nasty red things? I think if Tim steps on them, it won't end well for him. Tim, maybe you should slow down a bit and be more careful.
Guys, look at how fast Tim is skating. Woohoo! This is so cool and fun. Don't be boring, join in the fun with us.
It's fun, but also very dangerous. Tim could fall and get seriously hurt. What then? Tim, please don't risk your health for the thrill.
I'm incredibly frustrated that there are all these obstacles making it harder for Tim to reach the finish line. Damn it, who even thought of this?
I agree, these obstacles are really disgusting. If Tim falls off the skateboard, he could get hurt. I hate blood. I hate seeing it. Ugh, it's so gross.
Guys, what if we look at this situation from a different angle? Tim is doing a great job, despite all the challenges. We can see how skillfully he navigates the obstacles and enjoys skating. So let's cheer him on and share in the joy together. I'm sure Tim can make it to the end. I have no doubt.
Joy, but look how high it is here and the distance Tim has to jump on his skateboard. The gap between the tiles.
I'm about to erupt like a volcano. Damn it. These obstacles are driving me crazy. Those huge spinning balls that are blocking Tim from reaching the end. This is going to be tough, but Tim needs to focus and make it to the finish line.
All right, I have to admit, I actually like it when Tim goes through these challenges quickly. I just want to get to the end as fast as possible so I don't have to watch all of this.
You're right. Look at how quickly and skillfully Tim is handling everything. I had no idea he was so good at skateboarding. What do you think, viewers? Are you enjoying it?
Yes, but those long red bars are still dangerous. They could knock Tim off and it's a long way down.
Okay, Tim needs to stay focused on completing the course to enjoy the ride, but he also needs to be careful and not get hurt.
Okay, guys, maybe we could take a short break from the gameplay and share a couple of interesting stories with our viewers. I think no one will mind. And remember, your support is really important to us. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Let's get started.
Today, we're going to tell you an amazing story about how we once helped heal a sick dog named Archie. But the most unusual part came afterward. Archie turned out to be not just any dog, but a talking dog. As the emotions of the veterinarian, we went through an incredible adventure filled with anxiety, disgust, anger, and of course, joy.
It all started when Archie's owner brought him into our clinic. As soon as I saw him, I felt a surge of rage. How could someone let this poor dog get into such a state? I was ready to give that woman a piece of my mind, but I knew we needed to help Archie first.
The sight of Archie at first filled me with intense disgust. His fur was all matted, he smelled terrible, and his wounds looked awful. But I quickly pushed down my feelings. We needed to act and help him, no matter how unpleasant it was.
I was really worried at first that we wouldn't be able to save Archie. He looked so bad that all kinds of anxious thoughts started running through my mind. What if he didn't make it? But we all decided to fight until the end.
Every day, we saw Archie getting stronger and healthier. And then, when he was almost fully recovered, a miracle happened. Archie spoke. You should have seen our shock. It turned out he had understood people all along, but couldn't tell them how much pain he was in. Now he thanked us for our help and promised to be our friend forever.
I immediately felt proud of our work. We didn't just heal a dog, we helped a true friend. And now, no one will ever hurt Archie again, not while I'm around.
Now that Archie is clean and healthy, all those unpleasant feelings toward him are gone. He's become almost like a member of our family. Who would have thought that from this dirty, sick dog would grow such a loyal and grateful friend?
This experience taught me that even in the toughest situations, there's always a way out. The key is not to give up and to do everything you can.
So that's our story about how Archie became a true friend of our clinic. And every time he visits us, we all remember those anxious but joyful days when we managed to save him. Hey guys! Did you enjoy the story? If you did, make sure to like and subscribe. And now let's move on to the next one. Oh, what a blast we had at the skating rink. Tim and his friends were skating, laughing, and scoring goals one after another. Tim was playing hockey so well that it seemed like no one on the ice was faster or more skilled than him. I was absolutely glowing with happiness, seeing him enjoy the moment. The ice sparkled under the skates, and everyone was in high spirits. It was the perfect day for games and laughter. Everything was going great until
Until that moment, when I felt something was about to go wrong. You know, I always get a bit anxious when it comes to speed and ice. These sticks, pucks, and ice, they can be really dangerous. I started watching Tim's every move closely. When he began to pick up speed, I tensed up. And then, oh no! Tim accidentally bumped into Max, and he fell onto the ice with such a loud crash that everything inside me froze. I got scared for Max, and I couldn't stop thinking about how serious it might be.
It made me so mad. How could this happen? I instantly felt a rush of anger because I knew Tim didn't mean to hurt his friend, but that's exactly what happened. Max fell, and I immediately knew something was wrong with his arm. Why did it have to end like this? Thoughts started swirling in my head. What if Tim had been more careful? What if they had played more cautiously? But there was no turning back time, and we had to deal with the situation.
The moment I saw Max clutching his arm, I felt a wave of disgust. That sound when something breaks, just awful. I couldn't even bear to look at it, but I knew we had to act. The injury looked bad, and Max was groaning in pain. It made me feel sick, but even worse was knowing that Tim now felt guilty about what happened.
After Max was taken to the hospital, I tried to support Tim. Yes, Max broke his arm, and that was terrible. But true friends stick together through tough times. Tim kept calling Max to check on him. And then, when Max was discharged, we went to visit him.
At the hospital, I was still uneasy. When the doctor confirmed that Max had indeed broken his arm and had a cast put on, my worries intensified. What if it takes a long time for his arm to heal? What if Max can't play hockey anymore? But it turned out to be not as bad as I feared. The doctor said Max would fully recover in a few weeks, and that eased my mind a bit.
But even then, I couldn't let go of my anger. Tim felt guilty, but he just wanted to have fun. It was an accident, but I knew Tim would learn from this and be more careful. And while my anger gradually subsided, I was ready to defend Tim if anyone tried to blame him.
When we got back to Max's house, I still felt a little disgusted looking at that big cast. But you know what? Tim suggested they decorate it, and it turned out to be a lot of fun. I stopped thinking about unpleasant things and focused on how we were creating little masterpieces right on the cast. It felt much better seeing Tim and Max laugh at the funny drawings.
And there we were, the three of us sitting on the couch, surrounded by colorful markers, having a great time decorating Max's cast. Tim was drawing sunbeams, Max was drawing stars, and I was helping them come up with ideas. We created a whole world on that cast. And you know what? The laughter and joy came back. Max wasn't as worried about his arm anymore, and Tim felt like he did something good for his friend.
In the end, I was still a bit worried about Max, but I knew everything would be okay now. He has friends who are ready to support him at any moment. And this incident taught all of us that even when something bad happens, it's important to stick together and support each other.
As for me, I realized that sometimes you need to give your emotions time to calm down. Yes, I was angry, but I saw how much Tim truly cared about Max. That helped me calm down and see that things weren't so bad.
And although the cast initially grossed me out, it eventually became a real work of art. All the unpleasantness is behind us, and now we can enjoy the fact that we gave Max a pleasant surprise.
So this is a story about how we all got through a tough moment together and turned it into something good. Now, Tim and Max are not just friends, but artists who created a masterpiece right on the cast. And what could be better than friendship and joy, even if they start with challenges?
Guys, while we were telling stories, Tim almost completed this challenge. Finally, those scary ramps are behind him. I'm so happy for him. Now it's just victory ahead.
Guys, thanks for being with us. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Your support means a lot to us. See you soon.
Bye, everyone.
See you!
Bye-bye, dear ones.
Hi, friends. We're so happy to see you back on our channel. Today is a very special day because Tim is going to tackle a new map in Roblox called Obby, but you're in bike. Can you imagine? Tim will be riding a bike and overcoming various obstacles. This will be an incredibly exciting adventure, full of unexpected twists and cool tricks. I can't wait to see how Tim handles all the challenges. Are you ready? I definitely am.
Yeah, today there will be a lot of action and tough challenges. I can already feel the tension building up. These obstacles can be really tough, but I'm sure Tim will get through all the difficulties and show everyone what he's capable of. Let's see how he handles each challenge along the way.
Oh, I'm already getting nervous just thinking about these obstacles. But don't worry, we'll be right there with Tim every step of the way, supporting him and helping him overcome all the difficulties. I hope everything goes smoothly and without any incidents. The most important thing is for Tim to be careful and remember safety first.
Honestly, I'm a bit skeptical. These bikes and obstacles can be dirty and unpleasant, but I still believe Tim will overcome all the challenges and show everyone how to do it stylishly and neatly. Let's cheer him on and see how he handles this test.
So, let's start our adventure. Today we'll be riding bikes and overcoming obstacles in Obby, but you're in bike. It's going to be fun and exciting. Subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and leave your comments. Let's go.
Don't judge Tim too harshly. He just recently started riding a bike, and he might fall. Let's support him when he falls. Support will definitely help him right now.
As you may have noticed, Tim is wearing black clothes today. This is protective gear, which helps our boy Tim avoid injuries when he falls. It protects him and, to some extent, gives Tim a rugged look.
Write in the comments if you like this map format. It's very important for us to know your opinion.
Story time. Today's story is about how Tim learned to ride a bike. Hi, everyone. I'm so excited to share this amazing story with you. It was truly a joyful and thrilling week for Tim. It all started when he got his first bike. You should have seen his face when he unpacked it. Tim's eyes sparkled with happiness, and he was eager to try it out right away. The first day was full of fun. Tim rode around the yard, and every successful attempt felt like a little celebration. Do you remember when he first managed to ride a few meters without falling? His smile was so wide it seemed like it could light up the whole street. Every time he overcame a small challenge, he danced with joy and pride. Even when he fell, he got up with a genuine smile on his face, because he knew another success was just around the corner. For me, it was a real celebration watching Tim overcome obstacles with such positivity.
Well, it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. I must admit, watching Tim's first biking experiences was a real test for me. The first few attempts were full of anger and frustration. Each fall and failure made him flare up with irritation. He got mad when he couldn't keep his balance or when he crashed into bushes. It was hard for me to watch him struggle with his anger and frustration. Even when he couldn't immediately master the maneuvers, he still didn't give up. His anger and determination to improve helped him persevere, and that wasn't so bad after all. But every time he fell, I could feel my anger rising.
Oh, it was a real test for my anxiety. Every time Tim got on the bike, I literally trembled with worry. I was afraid he'd fall and get hurt, especially when he tried to ride over uneven terrain or perform tricky maneuvers. You should have seen how nervous he was when he stumbled or crashed into obstacles. I worried about every fall and every collision. Inside, I was shaking with fear that he wouldn't be able to handle it. But despite all this anxiety and worry, Tim kept moving forward. He learned to cope with his fears, and that was incredibly important for his success.
Honestly, I wasn't too thrilled about the process. Imagine how awful it was to see Tim coming home in dirty and muddy clothes after riding. Every time he fell into a puddle or mud, I just shuddered with disgust. The unpleasant sounds he made when getting up and his dirty hands after falls. It was all just revolting. But despite all these unpleasant moments, Tim continued to learn and move forward. His determination and willingness to keep going despite all this deserve respect. So despite all the difficulties and challenges, Tim managed to learn to ride a bike and now feels confident and happy. Each of us experienced our own emotions during this process, and that's what made his learning experience so special.
And the next story will be about how Tim learned to ride a skateboard. Hi, everyone. Today I'm going to tell you about how Tim learned to ride a skateboard. It was incredibly fun. Tim was so excited to get started. When he first got on the skateboard, his face lit up with joy. He couldn't wait to try skating around the park. Every time he successfully completed a trick or mastered a new move, his eyes sparkled with happiness. He was so thrilled with every little success, and I couldn't help but be excited with him.
Ugh, it wasn't easy. When Tim was just starting out, he often got frustrated and angry when things didn't go right. I felt my anger rise whenever he fell and his skateboard got damaged. It was infuriating when he couldn't pull off a trick that he had done before. His anger and frustration from falling sometimes made him forget about safety, which caused even more problems. But all these challenges made him stronger and more determined.
Oh, it was a real stress fest. I was constantly worried about Tim while he was skateboarding. Every jump and trick attempt gave me real anxiety. I was afraid he would fall and get hurt. It was especially scary when he attempted complex tricks at heights or on slippery surfaces. Every time he fell, my anxiety reached its peak. But as he got better at managing his skateboard, my anxiety calmed down a bit.
Ugh, I can't say I enjoyed this. There were moments when Tim would fall, and the dirty skateboard wheels would leave marks on his clothes and on the ground. It was unpleasant to see him come home in dirty clothes with bruises and scrapes. Sometimes he would forget about hygiene, and I had to see him eat with dirty hands or not clean his skateboard after riding. Although I tried to look away from these moments, Tim eventually learned to be more careful and take better care of himself and his equipment.
The next story is about how Tim learned to play the drums. I'm so excited to tell you about Tim learning to play the drums. It was truly magical. When he first sat down at the drums, his eyes lit up with excitement. The first few days were full of enthusiasm. He tried out different rhythms, mixed sounds, and even created his own combinations. Every time he got something right, his face lit up with a big smile. I remember how proud he was when he managed to play his favorite song. His joy was so contagious that even I felt excited. Every little success felt like a celebration, and seeing him so happy was incredibly delightful.
Well, I was also there for the lessons, and I have to admit it wasn't as easy as it might seem. Sometimes Tim turned into a real monster of anger when things didn't go right on the first try, especially when he was trying to master complex rhythms or change speeds. I saw his patience wearing thin and how he began to get angry at himself or the drums. There were many times when he couldn't keep his cool and would throw his drumsticks. It was tough to watch, and I couldn't help but get irritated. But that anger, though unpleasant, helped him face challenges and push through. You see, it was because of these difficult moments that he became stronger and better.
When Tim started his lessons, I just couldn't relax. I was constantly worried he might make a mistake, especially when he was trying out complex rhythms or when the drums were making loud noises. Every missed beat or wrong hit triggered real panic in me. I was anxious that he might overexert himself and worried that the loud sounds might disturb the neighbors. It was especially nerve-wracking when he practiced late at night. I tried to manage my fears and anxieties, and with each time he became more confident, I felt my anxiety gradually fading away.
Honestly, I wasn't thrilled about the process. When Tim was practicing hard, he was sweating, and his hands left marks on the drums. All that sweat and grime sometimes made me feel genuinely disgusted. I was unpleasantly surprised to see that he sometimes forgot to clean his drums after playing. This led to the drums becoming sticky and dirty, and the surrounding area wasn't in the best shape either. I felt a real discomfort from all this mess. Fortunately, over time, Tim started taking better care of his setup and keeping things in order, which made everything a little less disgusting. So, the journey of learning to play the drums was not only challenging, but also full of different emotions. Each feeling, Whether it was joy, anger, anxiety, or disgust, played its role in this exciting process. And together, they made his learning experience truly unique.
We had so much fun today sharing stories and experiencing all the emotions with Tim. We hope you enjoyed it too. If you liked our stories and want to hear more, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel.
Yeah, hit that like button if you enjoyed it, and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss our next adventures. I hate it when people forget about that. Tim worked hard, and your support means a lot.
Oh, I hope everything went well and nobody forgot to subscribe. I was a bit anxious that something might go wrong. Your likes and subscriptions help us know you want more, and that makes us really happy.
And also, please leave comments. We need to know what you like and what you don't. No junk in the comments, please. We're doing our best to make everything interesting and enjoyable for you.
Thank you for being with us. See you soon, and remember, always stay cheerful and active.
Don't forget to subscribe. We'll see you in the next video.
Take care and don't forget to check out our channel.
Goodbye. We hope we didn't leave you with any unpleasant feelings.
Bye-bye, and see you next time. Hello, dear friends. It's me, Joy, and my friend, Anxiety. Have you liked and subscribed yet? If not, I'll give you 3 seconds to do it. 3, 2, 1, 0. Did you make it? If not, I'll give you another 3 seconds, and we'll get started. Wow, we just entered Roblox, and there's this awesome mode, Snowboard Obby. Can you imagine we're snowboarding down huge mountains, and there are obstacles too. It's like winter break, but without the snow hitting your face.
It sounds too good to be true. I'm sure there are plenty of traps and unpleasant surprises. In games like this, there's always something that jumps out from around the corner and knocks you off a cliff. How did we even get here?
We're here to have fun. Look at that awesome track ahead. Those rings we can zip through and the slopes we can speed down. I'm sure we'll do great. The main thing is not to be afraid.
Not to be afraid, you say? Easy for you when there's not a giant icicle falling from the sky? Look over there, see those ice caves? I bet they could collapse suddenly. Or worse, there could be hidden traps.
Oh, come on. What kind of traps could there be on this beautiful snow? It's just a game. Look, I'm jumping through the ring on my snowboard. Woohoo! Check it out, I'm spinning in the air.
Are you sure this is safe? What if you miss? What if the ring disappears right in front of you, like it sometimes does in games? I know things like that happen all the time.
Oh, stop it. It's just virtual reality. You can't actually fall here. Even if you miss, you just start the level over. No bruises, no injuries. Now come on, ride with me. Let's tackle these obstacles together.
Yeah, start over. 10 times in a row. What if there are endless levels? We might never get out. And who thought snowboarding down icy chasms was a good idea anyway? Fine, I'll give it a try, but carefully. I'm going with my slow and steady strategy. It's safer.
That's the spirit. Look, up ahead is a huge slope. If we pick up speed, we can fly over the chasm. I've always wanted to try a trick like that. It's just like flying.
Over a chasm? What if I don't make it? What if my board breaks? Or the game glitches at the worst moment? That's happened before. Maybe there's a detour. Is there a detour?
No, that's the whole point. Pick up speed, feel the rush, the wind in your hair. We'll totally nail it. I'm ready for the next jump. Whoa! Look, I spun in the air again. Now it's your turn.
All right, I'll try. But if something goes wrong, I warned you. And honestly, I think snowboards were made for people who don't think about the consequences. All these jumps and tricks, it's pure recklessness. I just want to make it to the finish alive.
See? You're doing it. We're halfway to the finish and you've already got the hang of the controls. Now it's full speed ahead. Oh, look, and there are some bonuses ahead. Maybe it's a speed boost or a super jump. Let's check it out.
Bonuses? What if they're traps? I'd rather go around. I don't want to fall into a trap at the last level. Although, maybe this is exactly what will help us finish this snowboarding nightmare faster.
This is definitely not a nightmare. It's just an awesome adventure. Look, the finish line is right up ahead. See? We're almost there. Get ready for the final descent. I'm sure we're heading for victory.
I see the finish, but I still don't trust this last slope. There's probably one more unexpected obstacle I haven't accounted for. But fine, I'll follow you. After all, it's just a game, right?
Of course, it's just a game. A game where we can have fun, take risks, and win. come on, ride down. The finish line is waiting for us.
I think this is a great time to tell you a couple of interesting stories. Hit that like button, subscribe, and let's get started.
I've always loved filling people's hearts with warmth, making their smiles brighter, and giving them hope even in the toughest times. But one day, Anxiety and I found ourselves with the saddest person in the world. This was an unusual case. He wasn't just sad. He had lost me, Joy, and couldn't even remember what happiness felt like. All his memories were shrouded in a gray fog. I couldn't break through this veil. But I knew that somewhere in his heart and in the memory department, traces of me still remained. We needed to help him find me again, and for that, I needed the help of Anxiety.
Joy rarely asks for help. Usually she handles everything on her own, but this time I realized the situation was serious. The sad person was like someone locked inside his own head, and all he could feel was endless emptiness. I had to step forward and help. It wasn't an easy task. The memory department was chaotic. I could feel his fear, the fear that he would never be able to feel joy again. I fed off that fear, but at the same time, I helped him recognize it. Sometimes fear is the first step toward understanding that something is wrong.
I saw Anxiety at work. She helped the person realize that losing me was only temporary. I slowly but surely began to make my way through his mind. We found one small memory, a day when he walked in the park, and the sunlight warmed his face. It was so long ago that the memory had almost faded, but I could feel myself there, in that moment.
I held him when he began to doubt. The fear that joy might never return was still strong. But in that moment, we showed him that even in the darkest times, light can still break through. He remembered that warm day, and his heart began to beat a little faster.
As soon as he realized that memory, I felt myself returning to his heart. It was like a warm stream of light filling his soul. With each new smile, even a small one, I grew stronger. Anxiety and I helped him understand that joy hadn't disappeared forever. It was always there, just hidden beneath layers of pain and fear.
I didn't disappear, and that's okay. But now, we work together. His life is no longer full of just fear or sadness. Now there's joy again, and that was the most important thing.
We helped him find the light again, and now his heart is filled not only with me, but with the understanding that even when I disappear, I'll always come back. And in that, he found comfort.
So, did you like it? If yes, then make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll move on to the next story.
You know, I'm always around. People rarely notice me when things are going well. They get used to me being there, like sunlight or morning coffee. But one day I started to feel like I was fading away from someone's heart. It was a strange sensation, as if I was disappearing. That's when I realized I needed to be where I was most needed. Anxiety and I found ourselves with a person whose life had turned gray. He couldn't even remember the last time he smiled. And it wasn't just sad, it was heartbreaking because he had forgotten what it felt like to have me around.
Yeah, it wasn't an easy situation. Usually I show up first, especially when joy has been missing for a while. Fear and worry become almost constant. I had been in his life for a long time. He was afraid of the future, afraid that he would never be happy again. And while my intentions were good to warn him of dangers, I knew I couldn't help him alone.
So, together we decided to try to pull him out of this pit. The first thing I did was try to find at least one memory where he had been happy. In cases like these, people often bury joy deep inside, not letting it come to the surface. And you know what? I found something. Once, long ago, he had laughed with friends in a park, riding his bike along the autumn paths. It was such a bright memory, but he had forgotten it. I gently touched that moment and tried to bring it back to life.
Meanwhile, I worked with his fears. He was afraid that moment would never happen again. My job wasn't just to heighten his anxiety, but to help him acknowledge that fear. You see, when a person recognizes their fear, that's the first step to dealing with it. We started small. I helped him see that fear isn't forever, and joy could come back.
And then, I felt his heart warm up a little. He started to remember a time when he could laugh for no reason, when the world seemed simpler. I slowly pushed through the grayness, like a small beam of light. It took him time, but together we showed him that even if I disappear, it's never for good.
And of course, I stayed. After all, anxiety is natural, but now I wasn't the dominant emotion. We taught him that both fear and joy can exist together, and that's okay.
The most important thing is that now he knows. Even on the darkest days when it seems like I'm gone, I can always come back. The key is to remember that the light is always there. Sometimes you just have to find it again.
Thanks for watching. Good luck to everyone. Bye-bye.
Hello, everyone. It's me, your favorite Joy. Today, our boy Tim is going to face a very scary and dangerous challenge called Sir Scary's Mansion. Like the video and subscribe to the channel so we can get through this challenge together.
Hello, everyone. I'm already very scared. I'm really afraid of this man and his mansion. Oh no, he's chasing us. This is very alarming. Tim must run as fast as he can.
I'm about to explode like a volcano. Damn it! Why does this man think he can chase us? Tim, if you stop, we'll take him down in a second.
Do you hear those sounds? Tim, don't even think about getting close to him. It's dangerous and really disgusting. This man is so gross, he must not have showered in ages. He's a stinker.
All right, we're safe here. He can't reach us. Tim is in the ventilation. We need to keep moving.
I don't even know what to be afraid of anymore. I hope it only gets better from here.
Whoa, look at those huge, sharp red spikes. If Tim falls... No, Tim won't fall. Tim never falls. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments.
This room is so cold and smells terrible. Can we hurry up and get past these spikes? It should get easier after this, right?
Disgust? I don't think it will get easier, but Tim can handle it. Oh no, are those axes? Well, at least it's not lava or that old smelly man.
These axes are so sharp and big. Tim, please be careful and make it to the end. You're almost there.
The axes are behind us. Tim, you did great. Those huge axes are really dangerous. Even small axes can be dangerous too. I remember a forester once injured himself with a small axe. It looked harmless, but the forester was in a lot of pain afterward.
Anger. Don't talk about that. It's making me feel disgusted. Ugh, it's awful. How can you even talk about something like that?
Guys, maybe this staircase leads us to the exit. Look. Oh no, it's not the exit. These propellers are huge, almost like a helicopter's, just a bit smaller. Tim, maybe the exit is waiting for us behind them?
What a dangerous descent, Tim. Slow down, we might crash. Be careful.
Anxiety, it's okay, don't worry. Ahead, traps. I'm sure someone has already been caught in them, but we won't fall into them that easily, right, Tim? This challenge is within our power, darn it. I'll crush anyone who stands in our way.
It smells terrible up ahead. What is that in front?
There's a chasm below us, but it's okay, right, guys? Anyway, let's stay calm and not panic.
A chasm? Not panic? I'm about to cry from fear. This is so scary. Oh my God, where have we ended up? I'm so worried about our boy Tim. I just want to get out of here as soon as possible.
Tim did great. He turned off both valves, stopped the gas leak, and now we can move forward. No one fell, and you were also worried.
Guys, this is a great time to share some fascinating stories with you. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's dive into the stories.
It's time to share an incredible story about how we helped a robber turn his life around. It all started when we found ourselves inside the mind of a man named Victor. He was a robber, and his life was filled with mistakes and bad deeds. Despite this, we knew that deep down, Victor was a good person.
I felt a great deal of anxiety when we learned who Victor was. He often found himself in trouble, and his life was full of fear and tension. I worried for him because I knew that this path would lead nowhere good.
When I realized that Victor was involved in robberies, I felt anger. Robbery is unfair, and I wanted Victor to understand that he couldn't treat others this way. I knew we had to help him see the consequences of his actions.
It was unpleasant to be in the mind of someone who did such things. Robbery and deceit are very repulsive acts. I wanted Victor to realize that such actions not only hurt others, but also harmed him.
We decided that we needed to help Victor find a better path. Instead of judging him, we tried to guide him towards the right way. We started showing him what his life could look like if he changed. We suggested to him that there were many ways to earn an honest living and feel true joy.
I was still worried that Victor might not be able to change his life, but we decided to support him. We encouraged him to think that he could start fresh if he wanted to. We also helped him find resources and people who could assist him.
I used my energy to help Victor understand how destructive his actions were. We reminded him of the people he had hurt and the consequences his actions could have. I wanted him to feel responsible for his actions.
We also helped Victor realize how distasteful his previous lifestyle was. We showed him that he could change his life and stop feeling bad about his actions. This was important for him to start respecting himself and others.
Gradually, Victor began to change. He found a job and started helping other people in difficult situations. We saw how his life was filling with joy and meaning. He was no longer the robber he once was. Now he tried to do good and help those around him.
I felt immense relief when I saw that Victor had found a new path. I no longer feared for his future because he had chosen the right way. Now his life was safer and more peaceful.
I was pleased to see that Victor had recognized his mistakes and decided to change his life. He became more responsible and considerate of others. This was something to be respected.
I was also happy with the changes. Victor stopped doing things that made him and others feel disgusted. Now he lived honestly and with respect for himself and those around him.
Now Victor lives a happy and honest life. We are proud that we could help him find the right path. This shows that even the toughest situations can change if a person is willing to change their life. Along with anxiety, anger, and disgust, we realized that everyone deserves a chance at a better future.
Did you enjoy the story? Give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and don't forget to leave your thoughts about our adventures in the comments.
One day, something incredible happened to Tim. It all started when he was walking in the park, and suddenly, a bright spaceship landed in front of him. Out came aliens who handed Tim a suitcase, promising that its contents would grant all his wishes on Earth. I was thrilled. This was a real miracle.
When the aliens gave Tim the suitcase, I immediately started worrying. A suitcase that grants all wishes sounded too good to be true. What if it was a trick or had hidden consequences? I was concerned for Tim's safety.
I felt suspicious right away. Who were these aliens? And why were they giving Tim a suitcase with such power for free? I was angry at them for putting Tim in a situation with so many unknowns.
I was skeptical of the whole situation. Aliens and a magical suitcase? It sounded dirty and questionable. I thought there might be something unpleasant going on, and I didn't like it.
Despite our doubts, Tim was full of curiosity. He opened the suitcase and found a strange crystal inside. The aliens explained that all he had to do was make a wish, and it would come true. We all started thinking about what to wish for first.
I suggested that Tim should first wish for something small to test how it works and if it's safe. Maybe wish for his favorite food or a small gift. I was very worried that something might go wrong.
I agreed with anxiety. Safety first. I didn't want Tim to wish for something grandiose right away and face unforeseen consequences. I suggested wishing for something simple but useful, like extra time to do homework.
I thought that if this really worked, we could use it for something useful and enjoyable, but not too risky. I didn't want Tim to wish for something too ambitious that could spiral out of control.
Tim decided to wish for his favorite pizza for dinner. And guess what? The pizza appeared right in front of him. It was amazing. We were all excited, but we understood that with such power, we needed to be cautious.
I was still worried. What if there was a price to pay for each wish? Or something might go wrong? We decided to use the suitcase only in extreme cases and not to abuse its power.
We agreed that it was best to use the wishes for something truly important and necessary. I insisted that Tim make his wishes thoughtfully and responsibly.
I still didn't like the idea of using the suitcase without being fully sure of its safety. Careful and observant of any consequences.
So, Tim and we, his emotions, decided to use the suitcase wisely and responsibly. We knew that magic needed to be used with intelligence and caution. This suitcase became a reminder of the importance of being mindful of our wishes and actions.
How did you like our stories? I hope you enjoyed them. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks to your support, Tim is almost at the end. Thank you, subscribers.
Yes, your support means so much to us. Over 90% of people watching our videos aren't subscribed. Let's change that, shall we?
What a disgusting water. It's green and looks dangerous. How can anyone swim in that? We need to stay on guard and get out of here as quickly as possible.
Oh, this really looks creepy. Green water might mean there are lots of algae or some chemical substances. We need to be extremely cautious to avoid getting hurt. Tim, look for a way to get out of this place quickly.
And we've reached the end. Thanks everyone for watching. Good luck and bye for now. Hello everyone, dear friends. It's me, Joy, along with anxiety, anger, and disgust. Today, Tim is playing a mode called Minions Berry's Prison Run.
Hello, everyone. Look, Tim has been locked up here by the minions. There's one of them patrolling the corridor. Look, he looks scary, and he could harm us.
Forget about him. Let's escape through the ventilation quickly. Hi, subscribers. How's it going? Write in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Your support is very important to us and to Tim.
Hi, this place is disgusting. Look at the walls and floor. Everything is covered in dust and dirt. Honestly, it was cleaner in the cell. Let's find a way out quickly. Subscribers, help us out.
Guys, let's stay optimistic. Everything is fine. Tim is smart and brave. He'll definitely find a way out of here. Where have we ended up? This room looks pretty strange, don't you think? Oh, look at that minion. He's so funny and cute, even though he's standing by the door.
Oh no! He's starting to move towards us. What should we do? We need to find a safe place quickly before he catches us.
Stop panicking. We need to move quickly and decisively. If we can make it to the ventilation, we can escape from him. Let's find our way and keep moving.
Oh no, not another ventilation. I can't stand these dirty, cramped spaces anymore. But if it's the only way to escape that dreadful minion, I'm ready to go through it.
We did it! We're in the ventilation now, and the minion can't reach us. Now we just need to find our way out and seize every opportunity.
Wow, what is this room? Everything looks so luxurious. And what if the chandelier in that room fell on us?
All right, we've ended up in the minions' dungeon. Tim needs to stay alert. Minions are very cunning and stealthy. They could appear right beside us at any moment. We must get through this challenge and move forward.
It's full of rats and so cold here. It's really disgusting. Guys, hit the like button and subscribe so we can get out of here as soon as possible.
Disgust. It's not that bad here. There's water, it's spacious, and it's humid. What's more interesting is what awaits us next. This is truly an exciting and amazing adventure.
Oh no, no, no! This huge ball could crush us! How do we move forward? It looks so terrifying. I'm about to cry from fear. Tim, please be careful. I'm begging you, make it to the end.
Anxiety. Tim is doing great. Come on, Tim, I believe in you. You can overcome this giant ball and make it to the end. Forward, just keep going.
Tim almost made it. Great job. He did it.
See? Even though you were worried, Tim has everything under control. He'll make it to the end.
Joy, I think this is a great moment to share a couple of interesting stories with our viewers. What do you think?
Yes, great idea. Let's share a couple of exciting stories with our viewers while Tim continues his adventure. I hope you'll enjoy them. Guys, have you hit the like and subscribe buttons? Then let's get started. This story is about Tim's transition to a new school. The first day at the new school was a real adventure. Tim was eagerly looking forward to it. There were many new faces around, and he was full of enthusiasm. I could feel his joy and inspiration. We eagerly watched as he smiled, made new friends, and explored his new surroundings. Each new discovery brought him joy, and his energy was simply contagious.
I couldn't help but worry about Tim. A new class, new teachers, new rules. Everything was new to him. I was concerned about how he would handle the adaptation and whether he would be able to get along with his classmates. Every little detail seemed important to me, and I was anxious about how he would feel in the new environment. I was scared that he might be left alone or that something might go wrong.
When I saw how some of the kids in class reacted to Tim, I was furious. I was irritated when some of the kids started teasing or showing unkindness. It was unfair. Tim deserved better than such taunts. I was ready to fight for his dignity and protect him from any attempts to belittle him.
Some moments of the first day were simply unpleasant. I felt disgusted when I saw the untidiness in the school cafeteria or locker room, and some kids behaved rudely and disrespectfully. All of this created an unpleasant impression and sometimes overshadowed the joy of new experiences. I was disappointed that the initial stage could be spoiled by such small things.
Despite all the difficulties, Tim managed to get through the first day. He found new friends and adapted to the new environment. His smile and positive energy returned when he realized that things weren't as scary as they had seemed at first. We were thrilled with his successes and the fact that he was able to overcome all the initial hurdles.
By the end of the day, I felt a sense of relief. Tim began to feel more confident, and his anxiety gradually subsided. Although I still worried about his adaptation, I saw that he started to get along with his classmates and felt more comfortable. It was reassuring.
I was glad that Tim was able to show who he was despite the initial difficulties. Even though some kids continued to behave inappropriately, Tim didn't let them break him and kept moving forward. I was proud of how he held his ground and didn't give in to provocations.
Although the first impression of the school had some unpleasant moments, I saw that Tim managed to overcome the difficulties and kept moving forward. It was important for him, and I understood that he was able to leave the negative moments behind and start a new chapter of his school life with a positive attitude.
Thus, the first day at the new school, though it began with worries and difficulties, became the start of a new and exciting adventure for Tim. We were happy to see his growth and development, and were confident that he would have many wonderful moments ahead. Hey guys, did you enjoy the story? Hit that like button and subscribe. When Tim watched the horror movie, he was thrilled by the plot and special effects. It was an exciting and tense adventure that kept him on edge until the very end. I was happy to see him enjoying the genre and how his eyes sparkled with enthusiasm. In the evening, he discussed the movie, sharing his favorite moments, and it was fun and interesting.
But as night fell, I began to worry. Tim became nervous and anxious, and although I knew the movie was just fiction, his fears started to haunt him. I was concerned he wouldn't be able to sleep, and that his nighttime fears might seriously affect his well-being. I was anxious about every creak and shadow that might remind him of the scenes from the film.
In the morning, when strange things started happening, I was outraged. Why did these things have to happen? It was unfair. Tim had already endured a night full of fears and anxieties, and now he was being plagued by oddities. It was simply unacceptable. I was ready to fight to protect him from any potential troubles.
When the oddities started occurring, I felt disgusted. The strange noises and mysterious events not only scared Tim, but also made me feel uncomfortable. I was distressed that reality seemed to be turning into a terrible movie that Tim had watched. It was unpleasant and gave me a sense of anxiety and distaste.
Despite all the fears and discomforts, Tim managed to find the strength to handle the situation. He began to see everything that was happening as mere coincidences and approach the situation with humor. His ability to find positivity, even in difficult situations, helped him overcome his fears and regain his calm. I was happy to see him smiling again and tackling all the problems with confidence.
As things began to settle down, I felt a sense of relief. Tim managed to handle the situation and regain his calm. Although I still worried about his nighttime fears, I was glad that he was able to see the events as part of his imagination and deal with them. It gave me confidence that he could handle any challenges that came his way.
I was glad that Tim could handle the situation despite all the discomforts. Although what was happening was unfair and annoying, he didn't let his fears take over and kept moving forward. I was proud of how he showed resilience and courage.
Although all these oddities were unpleasant and made me feel uncomfortable, I was happy that Tim was able to overcome his fears and return to a sense of normalcy. These events reminded us of how important it is to stay calm and not let fears and discomforts control us.
So, despite all the difficulties and nighttime fears, Tim managed to handle the situation and return to normal life. We were all happy to see his confidence and ability to deal with challenges. It was a lesson in how important it is not to let fears control you and to find joy and courage even in the toughest situations.
Hey everyone, our stories have come to an end. We really hope you enjoyed them. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. Your support means a lot to us.
While we were sharing stories, Tim has reached the final challenge. Mega Minion Boss. This is a very serious opponent, but we will crush him. Tim is strong and brave, and he will definitely defeat him.
Oh no, he's so big and gross. It's disgusting to look at him. Do we have any other options? Do we really have to fight him? Maybe there's a way to avoid him somehow.
Hooray! Tim defeated the boss. We did it. Tim has completed this level. Guys, you definitely need to like and subscribe for this. It's amazing.
It was really scary, but this level is truly interesting and dangerous. Guys, thank you for being with us. Thanks for watching and for your support. Bye for now.
Hey everyone, guys, how did we end up here? Let's get out of this mode together.
That's right. Guys, help us escape from here by hitting the like button, subscribing, and we'll definitely make it out.
I'm about to punch him. Why the heck did they lock us up here? Let's get out of here, subscribers. Help Tim escape from this place.
It smells terrible in here. How about escaping through the ventilation?
Yes, Tim knows what he's doing. We're definitely getting out of here now.
We're going to end up outside, right? Oh no, it's really high up. I'm worried about our boy Tim.
Anxiety, don't worry. Everything will be fine. Tim is a smart boy. He can handle this obstacle.
Press that darn button, Tim. I'm about to boil over. Who dared to lock us up here? Does someone want our soul?
Tim isn't really gonna jump across those platforms, is he? Well, who am I kidding?
Guys, there's no need to worry. Tim has everything under control. He'll handle it. We just need to believe in him.
I do believe in him, but I'm very, very scared. What if our boy falls? What will happen to him? What if he doesn't make it?
Look how much fun it is here. So many toys. We can play with cars or ride on the big inflatable ship.
Wait, what's that? I see something behind the wardrobe. Oh God, someone is coming out. It's an old woman. She looks really scary.
Look at her. Her clothes are dirty and she looks disgusting. I can't stay here. I'm feeling sick. We need to find an exit quickly.
We're safe. The old woman is gone. I was so nervous, but now I feel like things are a bit better.
It's clear that she couldn't handle us. We managed to find a way out. But remember, if she comes back, be ready.
See, guys, everything's fine. We don't need to panic. Tim is handling it. Now we need to move those boxes so we can reach the ventilation.
I hate vents. It's so cramped and smells terrible. Isn't there another option?
No, disgust. We don't have any other option but to push through after everything that's happened.
Tim, what are you doing? The vent could be dangerous. What if you get stuck or fall?
Don't worry, Anxiety. Tim looks so brave. Just imagine what an adventure it is to crawl through the vent. It's like in the movies.
Yuck. It's so dusty and dirty. How can you crawl into such a creepy vent? Tim, you should find another way.
Tim, knock down that damn fence. It's blocking our way.
Anger? Why knock it down right away? We can be smarter and not break anything. Tim is a clever boy. He'll find a way out of any situation.
Tim, where have you ended up? This big room looks like a warehouse. It could be dangerous here. What if someone else is around?
Yuck. Everything here is dusty and dirty. This warehouse looks so neglected. I hope Tim doesn't plan to stay here for long.
All right, but let's not forget to be cautious. Places like this often have traps or locked doors. Let's stay vigilant.
Guys, I think it's a great time to tell you a story. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Your support means a lot to us. It all started when we ended up in a class with this teacher. His name was Mr. Grimm, and he was known for giving everyone failing grades and always angrily pointing with his ruler.
When we first arrived in Mr. Grimm's class, I was very worried. The room was gloomy, and all the students looked frightened. Mr. Grimm was stern and irritable, and his ruler seemed so threatening. I was so anxious that this day would be terrible.
From the very beginning, I was furious about how Mr. Grimm treated the students. He was always scolding them and giving failing grades for the slightest mistakes. I wanted to do something to change the situation because his attitude was unfair.
When I saw how Mr. Grimm cruelly and mercilessly treated the children, I felt a deep sense of disgust. It was unpleasant to watch him use his ruler and how his rudeness destroyed the classroom atmosphere.
Despite all this, I decided to try to find a way to change the situation. I noticed that Mr. Grimm was lonely and never smiled. I had an idea. If we could show him how nice it is to be kind, maybe he would change.
I wasn't sure how to do this, but Joy suggested a plan. We decided to start by doing something kind for Mr. Grimm. We prepared small gifts and notes with kind wishes.
I supported the plan but was cautious. I wanted Mr. Grimm to understand how his behavior affected others. We brought him gifts and notes, hoping it would give him a reason to reflect.
At first, I was skeptical. I didn't like the idea of doing something for Mr. Grimm, but I understood that it might help. We carefully left the gifts on his desk and wrote kind words in the notes.
One day, when Mr. Grimm came into the class, he saw the gifts and notes. At first, his face looked surprised, but then, as he read the kind words, he began to change. Gradually, a smile appeared on his face, and he became more friendly.
My anxiety began to diminish when I saw that Mr. Grimm became softer. He started praising students for their efforts and even began using the ruler in more playful games rather than for punishment.
I was amazed by the changes. Mr. Grimm became attentive and understanding. He stopped giving failing grades without reason and started encouraging students for their successes. I was glad that our intervention helped change his attitude.
I couldn't believe that our plan worked, but the results were evident. Mr. Grimm had now become a kind and caring figure, and the classroom turned into a place where students felt comfortable and confident.
Mr. Grimm began spending time with the students, telling them stories and teaching them with a smile. His kindness was so genuine that the class became a place of joy and fun. We were all happy to see how he changed and how he became a beloved figure for his students.
Now I feel I can breathe a sigh of relief. Mr. Grimm has become not only kinder, but also more attentive to his students. It has been a true miracle.
Yes, it was a great change. I am glad that our effort and hard work helped improve the situation. It was a worthwhile endeavor.
Now I am pleased to see that the classroom has become a pleasant place for learning. I am glad that Mr. Grimm changed, and now students no longer have to fear him.
So, joy, anger, anxiety, and disgust helped Mr. Grimm become a kind figure. This story shows that even the most difficult situations can be changed if approached with kindness and understanding.
Did you like it? If so, subscribe to the channel and give us a thumbs up, and let's move on to the next story.
This story is about how anger, disgust, anxiety, and I helped Tim deal with a situation at school. It all started when Tim began coming home upset. He told us that his classmates were bullying him. This was very hard for him.
I immediately felt how Tim was affected by being bullied. I constantly worried that the situation might get worse. I was concerned that Tim might feel even worse, or even refuse to go to school.
I was outraged that Tim was being bullied. It was unfair, and I couldn't stand that someone was treating him so poorly. I wanted to help Tim, but I didn't know how to do it right without making things worse.
I was appalled to hear about how Tim was being bullied. The bullies were so rude and uncivilized that I had no respect for them. I thought they deserved to be shown that their behavior was unacceptable.
I realized we needed to find a way to help Tim without causing harm to anyone. Together, we decided that the best way to help Tim was to support him in a way that made him feel confident and able to defend himself.
I was scared of the idea that we might do something that could make things even worse. But I understood that Tim needed support, and we needed to find a way to help him feel better and more protected.
I suggested to Tim that he should open up and talk to his teacher or parents about what was happening. It was important for them to know about the problem so they could help. I also advised Tim on how to use his words to make it clear to the bullies that their behavior was unacceptable.
I helped Tim come up with ways to respond to the bullies to show them that their actions were inappropriate. Instead of seeking revenge, we decided to demonstrate that Tim didn't have to tolerate such behavior. He could stand up for his rights with confidence.
Together with anxiety, anger, and disgust, we developed a plan to help Tim. He started to confidently speak to the bullies and show them that while they could hurt him, they couldn't break him. We supported him and taught him how to be assertive without being aggressive.
My worry about Tim gradually lessened as I saw him start to show confidence and resilience. He began to feel better and started believing in his own strength. I was happy to see that he was no longer afraid to openly express his feelings.
I am proud of how Tim handled the situation. He not only defended himself, but also taught the bullies that their behavior was unacceptable. It was fair and right.
I am glad that we helped Tim deal with the bullies without resorting to revenge. His confidence and ability to stand up for himself were the best responses. The bullies now understand that they shouldn't treat people the way they treated Tim.
In the end, Tim felt much better. His confidence grew, and he started enjoying his days at school. We were all happy to see him become stronger and more self-assured. It was a great example of how important it is to have friends' support and a proper approach to solving problems.
Now I feel that everything will be okay. Tim has learned to handle difficult situations and not be afraid of them. This was crucial for his confidence and self-respect.
I am satisfied with how everything turned out. Tim was able to show that he wouldn't let anyone treat him badly. It was well-deserved.
I am happy that Tim managed to deal with this unpleasant situation. His confidence and courage were well earned, and he now knows that he deserves respect.
So, with the help of anxiety, anger, disgust, and me, Joy, Tim was able to overcome the difficulties and become more confident. It shows that together we can handle any challenges and help each other become stronger.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye for now.
Hey everyone, be sure to like and subscribe. Oh look, anxiety. We're in Embarrassment Barry's prison run obby. This is a Roblox classic. Just look at Barry. He looks like he needs to stop eating pizza for breakfast. And why is he so embarrassed? Maybe it's because his prison is full of such ridiculous obstacles.
Listen, I don't know why he's embarrassed, but I do know that we're not here by choice. We're in prison, and that means we need to escape ASAP. And that Barry, he looks like he could start chasing us at any moment. Do you see that huge belly? He definitely won't be running fast, but what if he suddenly rolls at us like a giant ball?
Well, that would be fun. Barry's like Indiana Jones, but with a belly. By the way, look, there's a whole room with giant donuts. This must be a challenge. We have to jump over the donuts and not fall into the glaze. What do you think if I fall? Can I at least lick a bit of the glaze?
No, no, and no. You're telling me these donuts are obstacles? What if they're traps? Maybe they're not as sweet as you think. And Barry is probably lurking around the corner waiting to catch us in the act, or in the glaze.
So what? I'm still going to be the first to jump through them. You know, the key is speed and confidence. Jump, 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 see? Easy. Now it's your turn. Just don't forget, if you fall, you'll stay sweet and sticky forever. Though, that might not be so bad.
Not so bad? I'm not risking my life for giant donuts. What if Barry triggers an alarm? Or worse, he creates even more embarrassing obstacles to keep us from escaping. What if he makes us jump through rubber ducks in a dirty bathtub?
Rubber ducks? That sounds even funnier than the donuts. Maybe after this, we'll be sent to the toy section of Barry's prison. I wouldn't mind that level, because there are too many bars and lasers here. We need more fun.
Fun? You're in a prison escape game, and you think it's not fun enough? Everything here is trying to embarrass us and make us do silly but dangerous things. Do you see those pipes ahead? I bet they're scorching hot. One wrong move and we'll be toast.
Or maybe they're not pipes, but some kind of pizza ventilation for Barry? If we're fast enough, we can toast a slice for ourselves. Just imagine, an escape with pizza in hand. That would be the tastiest escape in Roblox history.
Are you serious? Joy, this is no time for jokes. That Barry is right behind us. Do you hear his breathing? It sounds like an old vacuum cleaner, but that doesn't mean he won't catch up. We need to run through these pipes, not dream about pizza.
All right. I'm running through the pipes. Just don't fall behind. And if Barry does catch up to us, we'll just tell him we're protesting against the bad prison food. Maybe he'll let us go for being honest.
Protesting? He'll probably make us cook for all the other inmates. Let's go before he changes his mind about letting us into the cafeteria.
I'm Joy, and together with my friend Anxiety, we went through an incredible adventure that changed our world forever. One morning, when the sun was shining warmly and everything seemed perfect, clowns started appearing from the sky. Yes, clowns, but these weren't the fun, jolly circus performers we all love. These were evil, sinister clowns with frightening masks and creepy grins. They weren't joking around. They were trying to take over our world, spreading terror everywhere. But of course, Anxiety and I couldn't just sit idly by.
At first, I felt a cold fear. Thoughts kept spinning in my head. What if we can't do it? What if the world is destroyed? What if this is the end of everything good? The clowns were everywhere, on the streets, in parks, even in people's homes. They were blowing huge bubbles of fear and panic, and it seemed like everything was about to collapse. I didn't know what to do. I wasn't sure if we could do anything at all. But then Joy came over to me, her eyes sparkling.
I told anxiety that we had to believe. Believe in ourselves, in goodness, in the fact that we could find a solution. The world isn't as simple as it seems at first glance. There's room for both joy and anxiety, but the most important thing is not to let fear win. That's when I had an idea. The evil clowns feed on fear, right? So let's deprive them of their power source.
Deprive them of fear? I was both surprised and scared. How could we do that? Fear is such a strong emotion, and I know more about it than anyone else. I knew how hard it can be to deal with it. But Joy believed in me, and maybe that was the strangest and most amazing thing in the world. She took my hand and said, "Anxiety, without you, the world wouldn't be as interesting and colorful. We can defeat the clowns, but only if we work together."
And so our mission began. We came up with the idea to create massive waves of joy and laughter to disperse the darkness the clowns had brought with them. I gathered everyone who wanted to return to the brighter moments of life. Games, jokes, songs, dances. Everything was put into action. But fun alone wasn't enough to completely rid people of their fears. That's when anxiety came up with something incredible.
I realized that fear could be our ally too. When we understand our fears and accept them, they become smaller, losing their hold over us. I taught people not to hide from their worries, but to face them head on and find strength in them. Together with Joy, we showed that fears are a part of us, but they don't have to control our lives. People began to understand that laughter and anxiety could coexist. And when the evil clowns saw that their fears were no longer scary, they started to disappear.
When fear lost its power, the world was once again filled with light and joy. People were no longer afraid, and smiles returned to their faces. The clowns retreated, their menacing masks melting like snow under the spring sun. Anxiety and I did it. It turned out that together we could create the perfect balance. I bring light, and anxiety helps people understand and deal with their emotions.
In the end, I learned that there's no need to fear your worries. They're not the enemy. Sometimes they're just warnings about something important. And now that the world was saved from the evil clowns, I felt a little calmer. After all, with Joy by my side and belief in ourselves, anything is possible.
And that's how we saved the world from the evil clown invasion. Although the journey was full of anxieties and worries, it taught us that even the scariest moments can be overcome if you face them with hope and a smile. Yesterday, anxiety and I went through a very eventful experience. My friend Tim was riding his brand new bike. He was so thrilled when he first got on it. The wind ruffled his hair, and his face beamed with a smile. Everything was going great until at some point, Tim lost his balance and fell. He rolled off his bike straight onto the ground, and I instantly felt my heart tighten. But I knew I had to stay calm and positive to help Tim through this moment.
And I was absolutely terrified. The moment Tim fell, everything inside me tensed up like a tight string. What if he's seriously hurt? What if it's a broken bone? What if he's now afraid to ride a bike? These thoughts spun in my head like a whirlwind, and I could barely keep them under control. I rushed over to Tim, trying to see how he was feeling.
Anxiety, of course. You immediately imagine the worst-case scenario. But I saw it differently. Tim was strong and brave, and even though he fell, it's just part of learning. Everyone falls when they're learning to ride a bike. So I started smiling and reminded him, "Tim, you made so many laps without falling. This bike is your best friend. You just need a little more practice." I helped him get up, and even suggested joking about how he looked like a superhero as he tumbled down.
But I still couldn't stop worrying. I saw a scrape on his knee, and that made me even more tense inside. What if it gets infected? What if it leaves a scar? I immediately started thinking that we needed to clean the wound, cover it with a bandage, and of course, be more careful next time. My heart was pounding like a drum, and I knew this was important because safety is everything.
But I knew Tim needed to distract himself from the pain a little. So, I started telling him how all great cyclists fall when they're learning. I said it's just part of the journey, and each such moment only makes him stronger. A scrape? Well, that's just a sign that he tried and was brave. I suggested he think about how he would get back on the bike and ride even farther, without falling. See, anxiety, a little optimism can help us get through moments like these.
Of course, Joy's right that it's important to support Tim. But I was needed too. When Tim started feeling the pain from the scrape, he immediately realized that he needed to be more careful in the future. I helped him understand how important it is to take care of himself and pay attention to how he feels. Joy and I approached the situation from different angles. She helped him not be afraid and regain his confidence, while I showed him how to be cautious. Yes, and even though I was still worried, I realized that Joy helped him not to be afraid. We're both important to him. My concerns about safety and her positive outlook made sure that Tim not only learned from his mistakes, but also continued moving forward with confidence.
So in the end, falling off a bike isn't so scary. It teaches us to be brave, but also careful. Thanks to anxiety, Tim became more cautious, and thanks to me, he became more confident. Now every new day on his bike is full of joy, with just a touch of caution. Thank you all for watching. Bye-bye. Hello, dear friends. It's your favorite Joy here, along with my friends Fear, Anger, and Disgust. Today, Tim will be playing a mode called Escape Mr. Brain's Water Park.
Guys, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. With your support, Tim will definitely be able to complete this mode and escape from the dreadful water park.
Damn, what a jerk Mr. Brains is. How dare he treat Tim like that?
Ugh, there's so much water here, and it looks so dirty. It must be contaminated with something. This is really disgusting. Tim, be careful and try not to touch that water.
Guys, don't worry. Everything will be fine. Tim is a grown-up and smart boy. Think of this as just another adventure. It's just another challenge that he can overcome. Let's cheer him on.
Oh no, what is this room? I'm feeling a bit uneasy here. Tim, please be careful. I'm really scared for you right now.
I'm in a rage. Who is this guy? Why is he just standing there? I'm about to erupt with lava. Everything is infuriating me right now. This water park, the man who trapped us here, the dirty water, the wet walls. Ah!
Ugh, it's soap. What's the point of this? Is this some kind of joke? It's horrible, disgusting, and beneath us. Let's get out of here.
Well, guys, the soap, the water, and the pool are behind us. What awaits us next? It's both intriguing and frightening at the same time. Oh, we've entered this strange room. Look at how weirdly it's decorated and the air smells unpleasant. But let's not worry. Tim is handling all these challenges so well.
Oh no, look at that! It's old Mr. Brain! He looks awful and is chasing us with such malice. I'm scared that Tim might be in danger if he doesn't stay cautious. We need to be prepared for anything that might happen.
What the hell is Mr. Brain doing here? Why does he keep chasing us? I can't stand how he's humiliating us and trying to interfere. He's going to pay for this. We're going to deal with him. I won't let him stop us.
Ugh, how awful. Mr. Brain looks so disgusting that it's hard to even look at him, and his smell is just repulsive. I can feel myself recoiling from this horrible sight. But we need to stay strong even if it's revolting. Let's get out of here quickly and find the exit.
Hooray! Tim has escaped from Mr. Brain and made it through the acid. We are so close to victory. Come on, Tim.
That was so scary. I'm really worried about Tim. Oh no, does Tim really have to open those doors? Maybe he shouldn't.
Oh no! God, it smells awful in here. It's so stinky. Disgusting. Tim, get out of here and fast. I want to forget this place like a bad dream.
Guys, how about we tell our viewers a couple of interesting stories? Yes, I think we need to distract ourselves while Tim goes through this mode. Before we start the stories, check your subscription to the channel and hit the like button in 5 seconds if you haven't done it yet. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. If you didn't make it, I'll give you another 5 seconds.
Well, all right. This story is about when we were the emotions in the mind of a very kind and law-abiding person. When we first found ourselves in Mark's head, we couldn't believe he ended up in such a situation. Mark was a good and decent man. but he was unjustly accused and sent to prison for a crime he didn't commit. Despite this, I tried to keep his spirits up and find bright moments in the darkness. Even in prison, you can find joy. In the smiles of fellow inmates, in the rare sunny days when you can walk in the yard. My task was to remind Mark that there is hope and that we must fight for justice.
Every day I felt on edge. Prison is a place full of dangers and uncertainty. I worried about Mark when he encountered aggressive inmates and when he had to cope with the hardships of prison life. I feared he might lose faith in himself and in justice. Every new morning I worried about what might happen and tried to prepare him for any surprises. But I also knew that my anxiety sometimes helped him be more cautious and attentive.
My anger was boiling inside. The injustice that Mark faced was unbearable. How could they imprison an innocent man? I was angry at the system, at those who framed him, and at the situation itself. Every time Mark faced injustice or cruelty, my anger flared up even more. I wanted him not to give up and to fight for his name. My rage sometimes gave him the strength to resist and defend himself in this harsh environment.
I was filled with disgust at the surrounding environment. The prison was a dirty, dangerous place where people often forgot about human dignity. I was repelled by the conditions Mark had to live in. I felt disgust at the injustice that led to his imprisonment. But I understood that Mark had to learn to adapt to survive in this world. I tried to help him find ways to cope with the disgust and maintain his inner dignity.
Sometimes we managed to find joy in the most unexpected places. We began to make friends with other inmates who had also become victims of circumstances. We read books together, played board games, and shared life stories. Mark began participating in prison programs that helped him feel useful and occupied. I saw a spark of hope in his eyes, and that gave me the strength to keep supporting him.
But my anxiety didn't disappear. Every new event could change everything, and I was always on guard. We found out that there was a lawyer who took an interest in Mark's case and was willing to help prove his innocence. This added even more anxiety. What if this attempt also failed? But at the same time, it gave us new hope and a goal.
My anger helped Mark not to give up. When the lawyer started reviewing the case, we learned that there was evidence that could clear Mark's name. My rage at the injustice of the system turned into determination to help the lawyer find all the evidence. Mark felt my strength and used it to fight for his name.
The process was long and arduous, but I tried to remind Mark that we were on the right path. We had to go through this to clear his name from all accusations. My disgust at the situation helped Mark stay determined not to agree with the injustice and to keep fighting.
And finally, the day came when the truth triumphed. The lawyer managed to prove Mark's innocence, and he was released. This moment was filled with joy and relief. We left the prison with a sense of victory and hope for a better future. Mark hugged his loved ones, and we all felt that our struggle had not been in vain.
Although we were out in the free world, my anxieties didn't disappear. Mark had to start his life over, restore his name, and regain the trust of those around him. But now we had hope and confidence that we could handle any difficulties.
My anger was now directed towards helping Mark restore justice and find those who had framed him. We weren't going to stop at what we had achieved. Our fight for justice was only just beginning.
But despite all the hardships, I was proud of Mark. He managed to go through all the trials and come out of them with dignity. Together, we faced the darkest side of life and found the light at the end of the tunnel.
Guys, how did you like the story? Did you enjoy it? Then make sure to hit the like button and subscribe, and we'll keep moving forward. So, the next story is just as thrilling. We find ourselves on a beautiful island, and Tim is enjoying a vacation with his family. The nature around us is simply breathtaking. We're walking along the beach, swimming in the sea, and exploring the jungle. Today is a special day. We're going to witness a volcanic eruption. It's an amazing and rare sight, and I'm so excited that Tim will be able to see it with his own eyes. We're all filled with anticipation and excitement for something incredible.
On the other hand, I'm very worried. A volcano is not only beautiful, but also dangerous. I'm anxious about what could happen. What if there's a strong earthquake or a fire avalanche? We're close to the volcano, and my anxiety is only growing. We need to be careful and pay attention to all the warnings.
When the volcano starts showing activity, I feel anger bubbling up inside me. Why are we so close to this dangerous place? If something goes wrong, who will be responsible? But at the same time, I understand that our task is to help Tim deal with the situation and protect him. I'm ready to use my strength to help him get out of any trouble.
The smell of sulfur starts to fill the air, and I can't help but feel disgusted by it. The gases coming from the volcano are really unpleasant. I try to distract myself and help Tim ignore it, but it's not easy. We need to be cautious and not let these unpleasant sensations ruin our day.
We're at a safe distance, watching as the volcano begins to erupt. It's an incredible sight. Lava shoots into the sky, and hot rocks fall back to the ground. Tim is thrilled, his eyes shining with wonder. I can feel his joy filling me up. This is one of those moments that will be remembered for a lifetime.
But I remain on high alert. I make sure we don't get too close and put ourselves in danger. The volcano is becoming more active, and I start to worry that the situation might get out of control. But for now, everything is under control, and I'm trying not to panic.
People around us are starting to fuss and worry. Some are trying to get closer to take pictures, and it irritates me. Why don't they think about safety? I'm ready to intervene if any of them put us at risk. But for now, I'm trying to keep my emotions in check.
The flows of lava running down the slopes of the volcano evoke mixed feelings in me. On one hand, it's beautiful, but on the other, it's too dangerous and frightening. I try to focus on the fact that this is a unique natural phenomenon, and that we can observe it from a safe distance.
As the eruption begins to subside, we all feel relieved and awestruck. Tim shares his impressions, talking about how amazing it was. I'm glad we could experience this together, and that he had such a unique experience. In the end, this day turned into a real adventure, and we all came out of it a little stronger and happier.
Guys, hit the like button and subscribe. Your support means the world to us. Goodbye, everyone.